bag, put on his back, and on the way to the forest, she bumped into Hermia's best girlfriend from childhood, Helena. But Helena was really angry with Hermia. Why? Because Helena used to be engaged to Demetrius. But Demetrius jilted Helena in order to be with Hermia. Those things happen since 500 years ago, didn't it? It never changed. Some things will never change. Yeah, that's the way it is.
Man never changed, right?
Man never change, said my manager. And I do believe that. I sign. Now look, Danny, he also agreed with that. Okay, so Hermia said to her, you know, Helena, you're gonna be with Demetrius forever because me and Lysander, we're gonna cross over this enchanted forest, and then next morning we're gonna be at Lysander's auntie's house and we're gonna marry. So Demetrius is all yours. I don't like him, I don't need him, I don't want him. Helena was surprised and really happy. And then what did she decide to do? I'm gonna tell Demetrius what this lady is about to do. And I bet Demetrius will fall in love with me again because this lady is a bastard. So off she went to the other side of the street, knocks at Demetrius' house and said, oh, Demetrius, you look like Demetrius' sister. Are you Demetrius' sister? It could be. He knocked at his house and he said, you know, Demetrius, I have some good news for you. Your beloved lady is escaping with your best friend Lysander, and they gonna get married next day in Lysander's aunt's house. So what you going to do? Demetrius, when he received those news, he got mad, crazy, red with anger. He said, I must go after them, and I must sort it out, this problem. And you won't come with me. Helena was crazy. How come? I have to go with you. I'm in love with you. Let me go with you. I don't believe you're still in love with this Hermia. So he left running on a bike, on a car, on a horse. Better that time, right? On a horse. And Helena somehow found another horse somewhere, followed behind him, shouting, Demetrius, I'm in love with you. I must get married to you. I don't see any other man but you. Please, listen to me. And Demetrius was really in. Get away from me. I can't stand you. But she kept going. So, they all arrived at this enchanted forest. Enchanted forest. And there at the enchanted forest, there were 4 groups, or 3. 4 groups, I guess, of really funny people arriving at the same time. By the way, one was already there because, I don't know if you know, but the enchanted forest was inhabited by the fairies. I'm not an angel. Somebody called me an angel, but I'm a fairy. And this place was full of little things flying and all these beautiful feasts happening, dancings, and people flying and singing. That was the realm of fairies. And the king and the queen of the fairies, Oberon and Titania, had just came back from India, and they brought a little child with them, a little prince. And they were at odds with each other because Titania wanted the little prince to be her page boy.
Teacher, what's page boy? I've never heard this word before.
Page boy is like a little servant, okay? So Titania wanted him to be her servant. But Titania, no! Yes, Titania. Oberon wanted him to be his knight. So they were fighting, and then Oberon decided to revenge. And seeking revenge, he called upon his mischievous servant called Puck and told him, hold here, Puck is here, and Oberon, the king of the fairyland. While Oberon was talking to Puck, at the right side of the forest, who was there? Hermia and Lysander, just coming in. It was getting dark, and Lysander all like this.
Loved one, where are we going to sleep? I can't sleep on the floor. I can't sleep on the grass. Look at my clothes. I can't sleep on the rock. What are you going to do?
You could sleep on my lap. We could sleep like her. And then, Hermia was all pure.
She said, no. We cannot do that. We need to get married before anything,
Oh, my lady. So I think you should sleep like sitting here. He prepared a nice seat full of leaves under this oak tree, really old, nice shadow. He said, I'm sure you'll be protected there, my lady. Put her there, and then he went to the other side in another tree and said, my lady, I'll be looking at you, and I will be here protecting you, No one will get close to you. And she was all happy. I believe you, my beloved one. No worries. So she sat there and fell asleep. At the same time, in the middle of the forest, right side, left side, middle of the forest, was coming Demetrius and Helena. Demetrius, really pissed off. He was still on the horse, got off the horse, and wow! You know what he did when he got off the horse? He said, Helena, you must not follow me any longer. I had enough of you. The fairyland was all really agitated. They were discussing something that nobody could understand. So everybody was really trying to figure it. So Demetrius said, oh my God, they must be here somewhere. And Helena saying, oh my God, I love you. Why don't you listen to me? Meanwhile, at the same side of the fairyland, there was also a group of craftsmen from Athens rehearsing a play that they wished to perform at the Duke's wedding. My God, so much going on, teacher. Oh yeah, lots going on. That's Midsummer Night's Dream. So, pay attention. Oberon, that was having a chat with Puck, his fellow servant. He said, wait a minute, there's a lot going on in this forest, and I see a man mistreating a woman. I don't like that. Although he was playing a trick with his lady, right? But when he saw that, he said, Puck, I want you to do two things. I want you to fetch the blue flower called loving idleness, which has this power of, if you squeeze this the juice of the flower in someone that is sleeping on top of its eyelids, the person, when she or he wakes up, the first person she or he sees, they fall in love with. So I want you to go and fetch the blue-eyed donuts, and then he squeezed on top of that man's. He was looking at Demetrius, but Buck was not looking at the place where he was pointing at. I want you to squeeze the juice of that flower on the eyelids of that man and also of my Queen Fairy, Titania. And let's see what happened. Can you believe what happened? Buck, that was a mischievous man, started to go into deep and deep into the forest. Can you do some sound for us, please? We need some really weird sound. You know this. Go, 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 go. Go, he's looking for the flower. Go, 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 go. Louder. Louder. Louder, he's about to find. Woo! Yes. Finally, very deep into the forest, he found the loving idleness, this blue flower that had this most amazing power. So what did he do? He went after the first man he saw. And the first man he saw was Lysander. Lysander was sleeping nicely next to Hermia. And he said, by the look of it, this might be that guy that he told me to squeeze the... And he squeezed the juice on top of Lysander's eyelids. And then, very happy, he came to the cradle. You know what is a cradle, right? It's like this thing like this, where the baby sleeps like this. Like this. And you know who was sleeping like this? You know? The Queen Fairy, Titania. The Queen Fairy was there, oh, beautiful. And then what did he do? He squeezed the juice on top of the eyelids of the Queen Fairy. And right away he said, but I got something is missing here. I need to put somebody really funny next to the Fairy Queen so she will fall in love with him. So he looked around, he said, oh, that guy. He went there. You know that guy? That guy was a guy called Fred. Fred was rehearsing a play there with a group of men that was his friends. And I said, that's a nice guy. But I think he's going to be much better with a nice head. Then he did a magic. And you know what he did? He put some spell on Fred. And transformed Fred's head in a head of an ass. You know what's an ass, right? Okay, so Fred became all of a sudden this ass-headed man. So he came in, enchanted Fred and brought him close to Titania. So the first person Titania saw when she woke up was him, ass-headed Fred. And then Titania was all in love with Fred, saying, oh, Fred, you're so beautiful, I love you. And Titania was there, spending the most ludicrous interlude, doting Fred. And then Titania asked all the fairies to come around and please him with all the most delicious fruits from the forest and everything else. So Fred was all happy. Meanwhile, there where, who was sleeping? Hermia and Lysander. You know what's happening there, right? There comes Helena had gotten lost in the forest looking for Demetrius. My God, where is Demetrius? Where is Demetrius? I must find him. He left me alone here in the middle of this forest. All of a sudden, looking for Demetrius, she tripped over Lysander. Lysander woke up. Who did she see? Helena. And then Lysander was, Helena, you are the sunshine of my life. I never seen such beautiful lady like you. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the sky's so gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. Yes, Lysander said that to Helena. Can you believe Helena's faith? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You love Hermia. How come you're like this with me? I don't trust you. You got something funny in your head. I guess you're being enchanted by some fairy or something. I must run. So Helena starts to run. Meanwhile, Puck. I'm going to squeeze this just on your eyelid. Next. I need to do this on your here. So you are going to be at the some of your hair. She's very close to you, so. Okay. Pay attention. Helena started to run, and Puck was still looking for some other Athenian citizen to squeeze the juice, because when he was doing all the tricks with Titania, Oberon, that was overlooking the forest from a tree up there, he said, Puck, you did a mistake, my fellow servant. You must go there and undo that. You didn't squeeze the juice in the eyelid of the man that I told you. So Puck was still looking for it. So she looked so hard. He looked so hard. And then all of a sudden, he found this man. And the man was Demetrius, who had just fallen asleep in the middle of nowhere. So he was there. Look, he was like this, sitting still, but he was sleeping. So he squeezed the juice of the loving idleness on top of Demetrius' eyelids. And then all of a sudden, Helena, that was running away from Lysander, do you know what she did? She tripped over Demetrius. Then Demetrius woke up and saw Helena. You know what he did? It was like this. Huh? You are the sunshine of my life. Hey. When I see you, I feel in love. He started to sing. It was such a familiar song for us. But you know, he started to sing and he said to her, I'm in love with you. I'm totally in love with you, Helena. I want to marry you no matter what. So, Helena looked at him and said, are you sure? Her eyes were like this. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. And that moment, who came in? Lysander after Helena. And Lysander started to fight with Demetrius. Oh my God, what a mess, eh? What a mess in this enchanted forest. That's why people were so crazy confused. So, at the same time that Demetrius was like enchanted by Helena, came Lysander and Hermia followed behind him. There's such a confusion that when Puck saw all that's going on, he said, okay, let's do some miracle here. You know, he is very is very mischievous, but he is also a magic man. So he called upon the power of the thunder. And then he called upon the power of the winds. When the winds came through, the two couples fall asleep, one next to each other. Magically, Lysander next to Hermia, and Demetrius next to Helena. And then he went there in the cradle where the fairy queen was laying down with the ass-headed man, transformed the ass-headed man into a real man again, took him away from her, and said, Lord, Milord Oberon, your queen is back to normal. And the couples down there, they will be fine. Because I'm putting this antidote on their eyelids. Put this antidote on their eyelids. They did like this. Ah, you love it. You love it. When he did that, guys, you know what happened? The two couples woke up, and Lysander was in love with Hermia again, and Demetrius was... Wake up! Lysander was in love with Hermia, and Demetrius was in love with Helena. And in that very moment, you know who arrived at the forest? Our teacher, come on. We have more people coming in the forest. You know who arrived there? The Duke of Athens, Theseus, with his bride, Hippolyta. And when he saw that scene, oh my God, they are all in love. Let's invite them to get married the same day that we are going to get married. And they all get happy forever. And the fairy queen and the fairy king, Titania and Oberon, left their kingdom and came to town to bless their marriage. And they sing that day, my goodness, this fairy here, I must send them to a place. When Titania came to Athens to bless the three couples' marriage, she started to sing the most beautiful fairy song for them. And I invite you all to sing this song with me tonight. That goes like this. It's just 2 lines, right? Pay attention. Listen. It goes like this. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Can you sing that? Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Once more. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Once more. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. The second is like this. Love upon love upon love, our hearts are beating as one. Love upon love upon love, our hearts are beating as one. And then go back to Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Thank you. Thank you all. I really appreciate that you've come here tonight. I must say we are not used to listen to stories anymore because life is so fast and all the gadgets and devices that we have is taking us the most precious things from our soul is the time for listening. We can't stand still, we can't listen. We always think about doing what's next. So storytelling for me, it's a way of bringing awareness into people's life, especially the young people, because they are the one running here everywhere like us, but it never has a chance, or they don't give them a chance to experiment something other than what they have there, which is life running fast like in a motorway. So I really appreciate you coming, and whenever you have a chance to tell your children, to tell your beloved ones the importance of listening, the importance of storytelling, please do that, you know. Please inspire people to listen to stories, because through stories we learn so much. If I'm going to sit down here to analyze this simple play that took me a month, because that's not an easy play, must say. This is one of the most intriguing Shakespeare plays, and because it brings in so many elements, different elements from the culture. But when you get into it, you start to understand so many things and so many different feelings, like love, hate, and jealousy, and revenge, and it's all there. Mind games is all there. We could do, it's some food for thought for the teachers especially, to do a follow-up, you know, and research more into this play and others Shakespeare plays, because he has written about everything that we live in life, you know. I told here at the beginning of our evening, he's written about 37 plays and 104 sonnets. And I have his book of sonnets. And I brought, I don't know if you know, but he has coined or invented, created about 1,700 new words that was added in the English dictionary thanks to him. So I brought to you here, and I want to give you only 12 because those days, you know, we are on crisis. We cannot really afford to. But Shakespeare got loads in the internet. If you just type in his name, is everything there. And do have a look at it, because as it's the 400th anniversary of his death, there are tons of stuff in the internet. At Globe Theatre in London, which was the first theater to be built in 1559 and still receiving people, is still really beautiful theater. Of course, it was retrofit a while ago, but if you have a chance to go there, it's a sacred place to go also. Here we go. I don't think will be enough for everybody. So those who doesn't feel that gonna take the best out of it, better not take it. As you are a very naughty group, you share those two now.
Would anybody like to ask anything? Any questions about Shakespeare or the story itself?
Any questions?